Let's welcome into a little bit of extra banter today, Fortuna Dusseldorf's sporting director, Lutz Pfannenstiel. Lutz, I appreciate you taking some time today. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of everything that's going on with the Bundesliga, two things. May 15th, it sounds like that's going to be the return of Bundesliga play. One, is that what you're hearing? But two, how has your team dealt with the preparations to get ready for that point?
Yeah, I personally think that May 15th is realistic. I believe it's doable. If you really start on that date, then we are very happy. If we start 1 week later, we also have to deal with it. Yeah, I believe the preparation was very good. We're working now exactly 8 weeks for that day to come back. So I think the team is ready. And we always said, let the politicians make the final decision. But once the day has come, we are ready to play.
Yeah, Lutz, over the last 24 to 48 hours, there's obviously been a lot of Bundesliga news about the COVID-19 testing. For my opinion, over 1,700 tests have been performed, 10 have been positive. I'd argue that's been a positive sign for how transparent Germany's done in going about this. Would you agree or disagree?
No, I 100% agree with you. I think it just shows that the concept, the hygienic concept, the health concept, which was done by the DFL, really works. It straight away finds exactly what is wrong. You can actually take the people out who are positive. And as you said, the percentage is pretty small. And I believe it's just a proof for that everything which we thought of, everything which was really done in detail by the league is a doable process. And that's why we all believe it's safe to play.
Now, over the last 24 hours, Lutz, Salomon Kalou posted a video, deleted it, rightfully so, yet it showed to me, and obviously over here in the United States, we've had Rudy Gobert in that video, that there just seems to be still a struggle for some of these players to understand the social guidelines regarding social distancing. Kind of stupid from Salomon, no?
Yeah, of course, it's not my job to talk about other clubs and other players, but the video was also a big topic in the changing room. Everybody involved in football watched it, and I think not just the people in football watched it. And it just was a little bit reckless. I think it was just not a good example. And Hertha Berlin made a decision to suspend the player. And me as an official as well from another club really can understand that they actually took that really hard measure.
Lutz, how has your club dealt with it? The players, the staff? It seems like there's really been no news from Dusseldorf, which in my opinion has been good news.
Yeah, I mean, we are very happy that we did now 2 tests, and I can say that we had no positive cases, so we are completely corona-free, so to say. It was a tough 8 weeks because we actually had that first game was cancelled on the 13th of March against Paderborn, which was the first game when the league actually stopped to play. Mm-hmm. And we were right involved, the build-up to the game, and only 3 hours or 4 hours before the game we were told that it doesn't go ahead. So, yeah, of course, it's not an easy case to keep the players going. We were not allowed to train in the full group, so we started off individually, then slowly continued up groups of 2, groups of 3, groups of 4. Then we went up to groups of 8 for around 10 days, where you slowly getting into that proper team training. But we didn't do anything with duels, so it was more on the physical work. You couldn't really do much on the tactical work or on the proper playing game side. But now, after a meeting tomorrow with the Chancellor Angela Merkel and the presidents of the states, we normally hopefully get the green light that we can train again in full team strength.
Lutz, let's move on to the field with a couple questions here regarding just what the future is going to look like. Listen, you've played the game. You've played probably a number of closed-door games. I'm of the belief it's better than nothing. Are you of the same belief, or do you think fans need to be in the stands for this to really work?
Well, I think everybody who played the game knows that it's more entertaining and it's better if it's a full crowd, which really keeps you going. And, it's a dream of every player to play in front of 50, 60, 70,000 people. But at the moment, we realized that something happens which nobody can take control of. And I think behind closed doors is the only opportunity now to play. I believe it's not just a financial factor that lots of people say, well, it's only about the money. No, I don't think so. For me, it's the emotional factor, which actually counts more, because people here in Germany, all over the world, they're sitting at home frustrated, don't know what's happening with the job. And I think they're literally craving for live sports. So I believe when the Bundesliga comes back, that the whole world is really happy to watch some football again. Sitting at home with your family, enjoy the football, take the emotional part. It gives you joy, it gives you pleasure, and also gives you a little bit to think something positive in these really dark times.
Yeah, Lutz, I couldn't agree with you more. The NFL draft was here in the United States, and it did like 30% more numbers than anyone. I've never watched rounds 5, 6, and 7. Lutz, I could tell you every single player that was drafted in rounds 5, 6, and 7 because we're not doing anything. I think that's a huge aspect of this. Lutz, we've seen in England this conversation about the integrity of the game, whether or not playing in closed-door games, playing neutral sites, it takes away from that. In Germany, where is this promotion relegation, where is that going to end up finalizing itself if you play games closed door? Will it end up being the same? Or do you think maybe 2021 we may see the first division have more teams than usual just to avoid that relegation aspect?
Well, I think the plan right now is to finish the season the way it was planned, meaning we have match day 25, so that's 9 games to go. And then it is the clear plan to finish the season with relegation, with the champions. We will see. I mean, now we have that concept of the DFL, and obviously we have to wait and see how the first games go. But the initial plan is definitely try to finish it. Of course, closed door games, no fans, no home advantage. There's lots of things to discuss, but I believe it's just a very important thing for German football, for the Bundesliga, and for around 60,000 people whose jobs are actually on the line, that the Bundesliga kicks off again. And I think we really have to look forward now to the start, see how things go. But we are all positive that the Bundesliga is not just the first league to kick off, but also the first league actually to finish the season.
Is there hope at Dusseldorf within your own club's structure, especially in the staff and whatnot, that you guys can avoid relegation with this?
Well, we are very positive to avoid relegation by staying in the league with a good performance on the field. I mean, we are now at the playoff spot on position 16 with 9 games to go. Everything is possible. The only problem is right now, Taylor, you don't know where you stand. You had no friendly games. You trained for 8 weeks and basically only know what your own players are capable of right now. But you're missing out these match situations. You're missing out, well, kind of like compare yourself to other teams. We're also not allowed to play any friendly games with other teams. So we just can play 11 against 11 towards next week, that we kind of like get that match fitness back. But that all time will tell. I think it's just something that for us, it's important to play again. That's what we're all working for. And I think all teams in the Bundesliga are very loyal to that, and they're ready to play and ready to rumble.
Lutz, final question for you. Obviously, for the American viewers over here, a lot of eyeballs on Zack Steffen and whether or not he's capable of filling Tim Howard's shoes. Recently hurt his knee again. He's had a couple injury spells here. But as a whole, where do you think Zack Steffen's career is going to go from here?
Well, I took him over here. I personally really like him. I was a goalkeeper myself, so I think I can see a little bit more. And I believe that he has everything to be a complete goalkeeper. He's very modern, very good with his feet, a playing goalkeeper, very active. Maybe not as aggressive as Tim Howard, but definitely a goalkeeper which have a very, very big future. And I always say, if a manager like Pep Guardiola likes Zack Steffen and takes him to Man City, that alone shows of his quality. I'm very happy and very proud that we took him to Dusseldorf. He had a great start of the season. Unfortunately, he had some problems with his knee, just got another knee injury, but nothing that serious. But I really believe the tradition of good goalkeepers in the States, Zack Steffen will fill that big shoes of Tim Howard.
Lutz, great seeing you, my man, and appreciate you taking the time to giving us some perspective on the Bundesliga, and hope to see you soon.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.